There is a feeling we all get on self-improvement, and no one's ever explained this on the YouTube space, and I don't know why. But you know when you're doing something that you know you shouldn't, whether that be opening your Instagram, opening TikTok, playing video games, watching or even just eating things you shouldn't be. You're sitting there and you know you shouldn't do these things, but you still do them. And there's a voice that kind of comes to you and says, I know I'm not going to want to do this, but you still do it. This is something we have all experienced, but no one talks about for a reason. They don't want you to know how the military overcame this. There is a real reason we get this feeling. It's because we have a lack of work that we actually need to do. We tell ourselves so many goals on self-improvement that you need to be taking cold showers regularly, you need to be making £1 million a year, you need to be driving the nicest car in the world, you need to be built like a bodybuilder. And then we realize that we might not be able to achieve these things straight away. And so we want something to make us feel some sort of pleasure. And so we go down these degenerate, dangerous paths for hours on end, doing several things we know we shouldn't, just to feel something. What if I could tell you that I have a way to fully remove this from your life? A way that has been proven by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of men around the world. This is the military technique to breaking out of it. There are 3 priorities which are not spoken about enough. You need to understand the importance of a brotherhood. Having a brotherhood has been existent in all militaries all across the world since the first militaries there were. Every army has always been a group of men that have worked together to fight off other nations or other armies, and they've worked together and ensured each one is accountable. Now, of course, we live in the digital age where this is not as possible. You're not going to war, you're trying to focus on your work. So instead, you can build a digital brotherhood. The way you do this is to have accountability groups with your friends. Find a group of friends that you know is focused on the same things. Say they all go to the gym with you. Say they all create content with you. Say they all work on the same schoolwork as you. They must engage in the same discipline as you. Then have each other hold each other accountable for doing. Have each other hold each other accountable for practicing these disciplines. This is something that you will never understand until you do it, and you have to feel the compromises and the sacrifices you have to make. Because now every time you feel that thought in your head, you're like, oh, maybe I can just scroll on Instagram for a bit. You have to text your friend on that group chat or even in their messages that I've just done this. I've just spent 25 minutes on Instagram. Here's my screen time. What's my sacrifice? In the military, this could have been having to run kilometers and kilometers without stopping. This could have been not having the right meal. A big sacrifice. And in the same way, we live in the age of money, where money is everything. You can make a monetary sacrifice, but you don't have to feel guilty about it. Rather than spending this money on something stupid, making you more broke, you can donate to charity, which will increase your risk. As it is said that the one who does charity, it does not remove from their wealth, it just increases it. So you're doing a good thing. So at least if you've done this really bad thing that makes you feel really guilty, you feel good even after it. And you're like, look, I've done this. I'm not happy about it. You write down everything that has gone on in the past hour. You donate some money to charity to be like, look, I'm starting again. I'm starting fresh. And you get back to work. You get back to training. You go, you train your discipline the next day. You don't say, oh, I've done this and now I feel really lazy and I'm just going to sit around and order food and go into that spiral, because that spiral is what makes you a bum. Just relapsing, doing something slightly bad does not make you a bum, because think about it. 95% of people in the world are probably not at least trying to practice their disciplines. So the fact you're even making an attempt is amazing. So don't let yourself fall down from the top 1% to the 5% to the 10% to 20%, all the way back to the bottom of the barrel. Because then you're going to pull other people down with you and you're going to disappoint everyone. The importance of priorities is also fundamental. No one tells you this. All they want to tell you is that make a lot of money, go, have a nice car, have a nice house, have a nice family. And these things are all important. And inshallah, you do get whatever you want. But your priorities can't just be money. I fell into this. Look, I'm very obsessed with it. I think most young men are that really want to be successful, think money is everything. And it can be. I would love to be rich. Inshallah I am. Inshallah we all are. May Allah increase our rizq. But you have to understand that this does not mean that it's your only goal. If you give up on your deen, if you give up on your fitness, these other things will take away from your money. Because when you start to crumble down, you have nothing to fall back on. If you made £1,000,000 and then lost it all, what would you do? If you have God behind you and you know you have fitness behind you, you are still a healthy male running about. He's got God by his side, feel good, know that you can get it back, and even if not, you can be content. Or if you don't feel like you're backed by these things, by your fitness and by religion, you will never ever have the true feeling of security and safety that we all need. Your brotherhood also ties into this. You know when your boys go down, you help them up. And when you go down, they'll help you up. But you have to build those strong relationships. And it can be hard, especially if you didn't grow around a lot of lads your age. It really can be. But you can build a brotherhood. If you have no one else to hold you accountable, you can start by joining the Discord in my bio and in the description, where we have accountability groups where people keep everything private. We have some rules set up so that you can keep yourself accountable without having to have any of the secondhand embarrassment of talking to people around you or people overhearing what you've done, what mistakes you've made. And finally is the importance of intensity. You have to be intense with yourself. All of these self-improvement YouTubers are telling you, oh, you have to be gentle, you have to tell yourself you're going to be okay. Sure, you might be okay, but you have to treat yourself with intensity. Think about it. Across the world, there are people in third world countries who have nothing to do but work. They have no happiness. So they're so used to outworking you. And you're living here peacefully in a first world country where you don't have to work. You can be lazy. And I'm not stopping you from being lazy, but if you want to be successful, you can't be lazy. So you have to keep reminding yourself about this intensity. This intensity should be how hard you're training, going to every set to failure in the gym. When you're studying fully focused, no having music in the back, no looking over passive learning, always thinking actively, what am I doing right now? Set up in your diaries small pages where you're just going to think, what was I thinking while doing things today? Ensure you are being intense with these things. Force yourself to be more intense. Only then will you truly see progress. Inshallah, this helps you. Assalamu alaikum.